It's been reported in a local newspaper in December 2018 that 1 out of 7 people in Singapore struggle with a certain form of mental disorder. This phenomenon is not just in Singapore, but in the whole world. There is an increasing rise of mental disorder in children, youth, young adults, and also elderly members. The question is the church ready to minister to those who are mentally broken?
The major defining pain in my life would be the death of my first wife from cancer. Nothing really prepared me for that. And that set me on a whole journey of one struggle after another. And the end result of that, I went into clinical depression. And I realized that the church hardly talked about this. If you had spiritual problems, they knew what to do with you. If you had physical, medical problems, they knew what to do with you. Send you to the doctor, go for surgery. But mental illness, they weren't quite sure what to do with you. They would try to pray for you, get you to snap out of it. And if none of these things work, they really didn't know what to do with you. And so there's a long, dark journey, which I would say I was very helped by a competent, caring psychiatrist who not only gave me medication, but more important, gave me time. He helped me to talk through those very dark periods. So I'm very grateful, and I also learned therefore that often the church, anyway the church in Malaysia and Singapore, often not quite sure what to do with folks with mental illness. After I went into depression, I realized there were many people with mental illness. Once you encounter something like this, then your eyes are open and you realize there are many people. So I think if the church is meant to be a healing community, we need to get our act better on this matter of how do we walk with people who have mental illness or those who care for them.
There are a lot of stigma against depression. Some people think it's all in the mind, that it's the weakness of the mind, and it can just be overcome by just being strong. So a lot of people fail to look at depression as an illness, and I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people struggle. And society itself, the acceptance level of depression as an illness is currently still subpar. Oftentimes I come across fellow Christians who come and see me for depression, and I do think that church plays a very important role, because I do see some patients avoiding church. On the other hand, there are some that they find church as a solace, and they find that it's a positive place to be at. And what I realize is it's really how much support the church is willing to put into these people who have depression. I suppose the most important thing is really identifying people who are depressed and making it easier for them to say that they have depression and seek help in the church. Church can play a major role. For example, they can provide counseling or even support or pray for them, and that actually makes a lot of difference.